Good morning, Ilorin. Good morning, Kwara State. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to today's newspaper review on REVEIW behind Federal Ministry of Environment off Ujeba Road, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. I'm Misturah Issa. Quickly on the headlines. On Punch newspaper, Assembly urges Sanwo-Olu to complete abandoned projects. Still on Punch newspaper, Southwest Governor planned joint operations against ISWAP terrorists. Yahoo boys now involved in ritual killings, banditry EFCC chairman. US to increase military sales to India, says Trump. And on Daily Post, mining regulation imperative, Niger governor's wife. Let's take a look at the stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. On Daily Post, Uti urges Aba Power to feed surplus supply to Umuahia North National Grid. The Abia State Governor Alex Oti has urged the Aba Integrated Power Ltd to channel its surplus power to Umuahia, the state capital, than feeding into the national grid. The governor, who made the call yesterday when he was accompanied by the leader of the European Union delegation, Mr. Massimo De Luca, on a tour of the Aba Integrated Power Facility, said that the initiative, when realized, will boost businesses, attract investment, and stimulate economic activities in Umuahia. And on Daily Post, Ohanaeze REVEIW differ on proposed 31 new states. A mixed reaction continued to treat the proposed creation of 31 new states. The Ohanaeze Indibu and the REVEIW Youth Consultative Forum (AYCF) have expressed divergent view. Newsmen recall that the House of Representatives Constitution Review Committee had yesterday put forward a proposal for more states to be created in Nigeria. The proposal, which was read during preliminary by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu in the absence of the Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, has continued to gain acceptance and rejection across the country. On Daily Post, mining regulation imperative, says Niger governor's wife. The First Lady of Niger State, Hajiya Fatima Umar Bago, has called for increased awareness to combat the danger of unregulated mining method in the country. Her happy follow a recent dynamite explosion in Sabon Faki, Mashogun local government area, which resulted in the loss of lives and property. Speaking during the disbursement of a 100 million donation from Senator Oluwemi Tinubu to the affected families, Mrs. Bago emphasized the need for caution when handling hazardous materials. Still on Daily Post, US to increase military sales to India, says Trump. President Donald Trump of the United States yesterday has announced his country will increase military sales to India starting in 2025 and eventually provide F-35 fighter jets. Trump did not provide a timeline, but forming military sales, especially for cutting-edge technology like this steady F-35 jet, typically take years to work through. the US president while addressing a joint news conference after a meeting with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, also said the country has struck an agreement that includes India importing more US oil and gas to shrink the trade of deficit between the two countries. An unpunched newspaper, Yahoo boys now involved in ritual killings, banditry, says EFCC chair. The executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, Ola Olukoyede, has defended the commission's ongoing crackdown on internet fraudsters, popularly known as Yahoo boys, despite criticism from some quarters. Speaking yesterday while receiving the management of the newspaper at the EFCC corporative headquarters in Abuja, Olukoyede stated that the country lost over $500 million in 1 year due to internet fraud. The EFCC boss noted that the activities of internet fraudsters had evolved beyond online scams, warning that they were now involved in more dangerous crimes such as kidnapping, ritual killings, and armed trafficking. An unpunched newspaper, Southwest Governor planned joint operation against ISWAP terrorists. The Southwest Governor Forum, comprising the governor of Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Osun, Ekiti, and Ondo State, has agreed to establish a joint security surveillance to tackle terrorists under the banner of the Islamic State West African Province. This was revealed after a meeting of all the 6 governors in the region, namely Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Dapo Abiodun of Ogun, Seyi Makinde of Oyo, Ademola Adeleke of Osun, and Lucky Aiyedatiwa of Ondo, yesterday held at the governor's office, Lagos House, Alausa Ikeja. The move comes amid earlier reports of infiltration of terrorists into some forests in the southwest region. Makinde had warned in January that bandits fleeing military operation in the northwest were seeking refuge in Oyo. Still on Punch newspaper, Assembly urged Sanwo-Olu to complete abandoned project. Lawmakers at the Lagos State House of Assembly yesterday called on Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to urgently complete all abandoned road projects in the state, including the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Road in Igbobo Bayoko Ikorodu, which has been abandoned since it was awarded in 2017. The lawmaker representing Ikorodu 2, Aruma, should raise the motion at the plenary. We recall that during the last rainy season, a viral video showed a student being swept away by flood waters while trying to board a trunk across the road. I will call on Governor Sanwo-Olu to direct the contractors to resume work immediately. He also said the governor should mandate government agencies to provide 60% of required funds to the contractors and ensure the security of the contractors to facilitate prompt project completion. Still on Punch newspaper, federal government ex-envoy Islam Canada for denying military chief visas. The federal government and former diplomats yesterday condemned Canada's decision to deny visas to top military officials, including the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and other senior officials. The National Security Advisor, Nuru Ribadu, who spoke yesterday at the maiden annual lecture of the National Association of the Institute for Security Studies in Abuja, expressed outrage at the move, calling it disrespectful and boldly declaring that Canada cannot go to hell. The controversy unfolded when General Musa recalled that he and several senior military officers were blocked from attending an event in Canada meant to honor war veterans. Still on Punch newspaper, Nigerian tax laws not conducive for growth, says Oyedele, the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform. Taiwo Oyedele has said that the current tax law in Nigeria are unconducive for growth. Oyedele said this yesterday at the inaugural Economic Roundtable 2025 Microeconomic Outlook event of waiting firm Augusto and Co-Ed in Lagos. After months, the House of Representatives on Wednesday passed the 4 tax reform bill for a second reading and referred them to the Finance Committee of the House for further legislative work, including a public hearing. Still on Punch newspaper, police restrict movement as INEC begin distribution of sensitive materials. Ahead of Saturday's Katsina State Local Government election, the State Police Command has announced the restriction of human and vehicular movement from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. of the same day within the state. The Command Public Relations Officer, DSP Abubakar Saleh, in a statement made available to newsmen yesterday, said the measure was aimed at maintaining law and order before and during after the poll. And on Daily Post, Kano Anti-Corruption Agency probed 20 million land scam, arrest 15. The Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission (PCACC) has launched an investigation into a 20 billion land scam across various parts of the state. The commission chairman, Muiwuyi Magadi, disclosed this while addressing journalists yesterday in Kano. According to Magadi, 15 suspects have been arrested, including the registrar of the Kano State High Court and 4 officials from the Ministry of Land. He further revealed that a former deputy sheriff and a court bailiff were also among those apprehended in connection with the fraud. And on Punch News, Free My Son, Two-Face mother begs Edo lawmaker Natasha Osauru. The mother of the Nigerian singer Innocent, Rose Idibia, popularly known as Two-Face, has raised the alarm that Nigeria should help her beg Edo State lawmaker Natasha Osauru to leave her son. She made the appeal in a video that went viral yesterday evening. According to Mrs. Idibia, Two-Face is presently not in his right frame of mind due to the divorce proceeding with his estranged wife Annie. Still on Punch newspaper, Nasarawa tertiary institutions embark on warning strike. Both the academic and non-academic staff of higher education institutions in Nasarawa State, under the aegis of Joint Union of Nasarawa State Tertiary Institutions, have embarked on a warning strike over the non-implementation of the 70,500 minimum wage approved for workers in the state. The staff of the institution also lamented that they were yet to benefit from the earlier 30,000 minimum wage, consequently adjustment and promotion as approved for other government workers in the state. And on Daily Post, Governor Adeleke misusing state power, Osun APC warned of looming anarchy. Osun State chapter of the All Progressive Congress (APC) has accused Governor Ademola Adeleke of using state power to suppress opposition. The allegation came amid the recent Court of Appeal ruling that reinstated local government chairman sacked by the Adeleke administration. In a statement signed by its Director of Media and Information, Kola Olabisi, yesterday, the APC warned Adeleke against taking action that could trigger political unrest in the state. The party further insisted that the ruling was binding and should be respected by all parties, including the state government. Still on Daily Post, maternal mortality must crash to zero, Health Commissioner The Kano state government has reaffirmed its commitment to completely eradicating maternal mortality in the state rather than just reducing it. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the information officers of the Ministry of Health, Ibrahim Abdullahi, yesterday. According to the statement, the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Abubakar Laraban Yusuf, made the declaration during the Partner Coordination Forum (PCF) meeting held in Kano. The Commissioner further emphasized that the administration of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf is determined to transform the health sector, particularly in addressing maternal and neonatal mortality. Still on Daily Post, I was never suspended as Labour Party chairman, Dokubo. The chairman of the Labour Party in Rivers State, Ida Dokubo, has clarified that she was never suspended from the party, either as a member or as a chairman. Speaking to newsmen in Port Harcourt on Wednesday, Dokubo addressed reports alleging a suspension by Ward 3 executives in Asari Toru local government area. She explained that those responsible for the purported suspension are not recognized as official executives within the dissolution of previous committee. Furthermore, she noted that new ward and local government executives across the state will be inaugurated soon and accused the individual involved of forging signatories' name. And on Tribune, where past 54.99 trillion naira 2025 budget, the House of Representatives yesterday approved the 54.99 trillion naira 2025 appropriation bill, finalizing the country budget for the upcoming fiscal year. President Bola Tinubu had initially proposed a 49.77 trillion naira budget, but later reversed it to 54.2 trillion naira before seeking legislative approval. A breakdown of the budget showed that 3.645 trillion naira for statutory transfer and 14.317 trillion for debt services and 13.64 trillion for recurrent expenditure and 23.96 trillion capital expenditure development fund, with fiscal deficit put at 13.8 trillion naira. And on Punch newspaper, Cross River welcome federal government partnership on Obudu Ranch. Cross River State Governor Basi Hout has expressed excitement over the federal government plan to transform Obudu Cattle Ranch into a major hub for livestock and dairy production in Nigeria. Speaking to the Deputy Governor Peter Ode on Wednesday during a courtesy visit by the Minister of Livestock Development, Idimaha Otu said Obudu's favorable climate, rich biodiversity and vast landmass were a key advantage for large-scale livestock farming and dairy production. The minister acknowledged Nigeria's 33 trillion naira livestock industry, noting however that it remained vastly unutilized. And on Punch newspaper, Oyo appointing new SUBEB secretaries. The Oyo State government has approved the appointment of 3 new executive secretaries for the State Universal Basic Education Board. The board chairman, Nuwene Adeniran, announced this during a meeting with administrative officers of all local government universal basic education authorities held at the board headquarters in Ibadan, the state capital. He stated that the new appointees were appointed by Governor Seyi Makinde to oversee the 3 sensational zones under the board. Adeniran described them as accomplished educationists and advocates of good governance. noting that they were selected after passing the required examination alongside the newly appointed permanent secretaries. Still on Punch newspaper, I wouldn't be a widow if Akeredolu had listened to me. Betty Akeredolu. Former Ondo State First Lady Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu has spoken about her late husband, former Governor Rotimi Akeredolu's battle with cancer, expressing strong criticism of reliance on spiritual interventions. In an exclusive interview with Newsmen, Betty revealed that if her late husband had prioritized medical treatment over spiritual practices, she believed his life would have been prolonged. Betty, a breast cancer survivor, detailed how her understanding of cancer biology and early detection led her to establish the Breast Cancer Association of Nigeria in 1997. She, however, emphasized that cancer should be viewed as a medical issue, not a spiritual attack. Sharia law expansion can fuel conflict in Southwest Catholic Church. The Catholic Church has called for caution in the push for implementation of Sharia law in the Southwest state of Nigeria. The Director of Mission and Dialogue, Catholic Secretariat of Nigeria (CSN), Reverend Fr. Lawrence Amai, made this known while fighting questions from journalists at the 5th Annual Media Rally in Abuja yesterday. He described the recent development as a sensitive matter that requires a careful observation and called for a retreat for the sake of other believers. Newsmen recalled that there were flyers in circulation inviting guests from across the country to the inauguration of the Sharia court earlier scheduled for January 11 in Oyo. On Vanguard, 19-year-old boy commits suicide in Ogun. After comedian Princess Distress court remands suspect for alleged defilement. A tragic incident occurred in Avio village, Odeda local government area of Ogun State, where a 19-year-old boy identified as Sunday Moses was found dead after allegedly hanging himself from a tree. Moses' lifeless body was discovered in a secluded working area of the village. Reports that indicate that the secondary school leader had earlier informed his 47-year-old brother that he was going to find a spot with better network reception to make a phone call. Confirming the incident yesterday, the Ogun State Police spokesperson Omolola Odutola stated that the deceased was found by his brother John Ebe after several hours of searching for him. Investigation revealed that Moses had recently lost his mother, who had yet to be buried in their hometown of Oju, Benue State. The deceased left his home in Ogun Bade village early on February 10, 2025 in search of a better network service. Odutola said when he failed to return, his elder brother John Ede became worried and trailed him to the location where he made the devastating discovery. Upon receiving the report, detectives were deployed to the scene and photographs were taken as part of the investigation. Odutola, however, confirmed that investigations are ongoing and the corpse has been released to the